Well, hi everybody. Wow, what a scorcher of a day. It's brilliant. I love this sun. Summer's here. It's brilliant. Our garden's doing well. We bought one or two plants and things the other day just to get things growing for the summer. As you can see, I got my pots on the top of my pond there. But yeah, absolutely great. I love this weather. What I do want to talk about in this video is the Bakki River. As you all know, as I mentioned in my last video, it's done away with my blanket weed or hair algae, string algae, whatever you want to call it. I don't get any anymore. I am getting the low growing stuff. It grows, I don't know, quarter of an inch, half inch, and around the sides of the pond. That's what I'm catching in the new Soot Filter. There's all the little bits of algae that come through. I think it's what the koi pull off the side and it gets into the bottom drain and through into the filters. But apart from that, nothing. But the only problem with it is, like the plants and lilies are not really growing at all. It stumped them as well, which it obviously would. If there's no nitrates in the pond, they're going to struggle. That one's trying to grow. That one is actually the one that usually has the giant leaves on it, but as you can see, they're only half the size this year. They're not as big as they should be. Plus the koi's pulled half of them to pieces because there's no algae for them to have a go at. So they've had a good go at them, so they're struggling a bit. But yeah, it's knocked the plants back as well. That's the trouble. The new irises, the small irises down this end, really aren't coming at all. There's nothing on them really, nothing to talk about. So it has its downs as well as its ups, I'm afraid. But that just proves that it's working so well. There's no nitrates in the pond, but the plant life struggles. If you want plants in your pond, you will struggle if you fit a Bakki River. Now it's taken this Bakki River about to start working 2 seasons basically, to start working properly and mature, and now it is really working overtime. We'll just take a quick look at the sieve filter. I'll have a look at that. I have put a little bit of fence across the front just to stop anybody walking around that way. And actually on the gate valve itself, if I can get in there, I'm not quite sure whether you can see it, I'm probably in the light. But on the actual gate valve itself, I've put a piece of 15mm pipe. I just split it down one side and clipped it over the stem of the handle. So it can't be switched off. If you push down on that, it won't go anywhere because the pipe will stop it going down. If I want to switch it on, or switch it off rather, I can just clip that pipe off and close the valve. But it stops it being shut accidentally. But we'll take a quick look at the sieve filter. Okay guys, I'll just whip you off the tripod and show you inside. Get my shadow out of the way. There you go, that's the sieve filter working away, doing a great job. Catching all them little bits of algae that's coming through. I'm really pleased with that, that's going really well. The pump's getting a clean water feed. The actual RDF, it's only triggering about half as many times as it was. It's making life easy for that. So it does take quite a bit of load off the RDF actually. And of course it's much easier to clean than the pump was. Cleaning that pump basket out on the old mega pump, the SS20, was a real pain in the butt. But this is, it's just so simple. I just whip that drop board off, the mesh frame just clips out, rinse it off with a hose, clip it back in and put the drop board back in. Job done. So it's really decreased the workload on keeping this filter clean, that's what it's all about really, cutting down maintenance. As you know, the RDF doesn't require any self-cleaning, so this is the only thing I'm actually cleaning out at the moment. Periodically the other stuff will want cleaning. At the moment the Bakki River does want a clean. I'll show you that in a moment. It does want a good clean out. I've not done that in quite some time, before the winter I think. So we'll have a look at that. We'll get that clean out today I think. Don't like being in the shed in this beautiful sunshine, but it's got to be done. I've also got to clean the skimmer out, so I think I'll clean the skimmer first and then we'll do the Bakki River. Okay guys, here we are down at the skimmer, so I'm just going to whip the top off the skimmer. Hope you can see that it does need quite a good clean out, so I'll just take that and get it rinsed with a hose and we'll have it back in. And there we go, all nice and clean again. I'll get that back in and then off it goes again. That's that little job done. Didn't take 2 minutes. Now what I want to do is we're going to nip up the top and have a look at the Bakki River. So just bear with me guys. We'll go up the top of the yard. Into the filter house. Now I'm going to put the light on, which will make it flicker for a few seconds. There we go. So this is the next thing I want to look at, the Bakki River. It's all working away really well. Hope you can see it. I'm not quite sure. It is reasonably dark in there, so I don't know how the camera will handle it. We're starting to get a bit of dirt in there, as you can see. But I don't want to mess this about too much because it is really working well. And it is proving its weight in gold, to be quite honest. A definite asset to a pond, as long as you're not worried about lilies or pond plants. But I'm going to get that clean out, just to give it a little bit of a clean, so that it'll go through the summer without any problems. Now I don't know whether you remember, but last time I used a leg out of the wife's tights. Well, I did actually get her to give me some this time, instead of just taking a pair and cutting the leg out of one. So I've got a pair of tights here. What I'm going to do is tape the whole lot on, because last time one leg not filled up but blocked up quite quickly. So I'm going to use both legs this time and just tape it to the outlet of the Bakki River. Then we'll give the Bakki River a good bit of a stir up, just to get rid of some of that dirt. Right guys, I've got to have the top of the moving bed up to get this on, so I'm sorry if that's in the way at the moment. But I've got the stockings or tights taped onto the end of the outlet where the Bakki River comes out, so I'm going to plug that on and then I'll take you off the stand and we'll give it a clean out. Okay, that's got the actual water flowing into the tights, into the pair of tights. I've got my rubber glove on. This will actually inflate the tights, which is quite a good thing actually. Just giving plenty of room. They do tend to blow up, which is alright, it's not a bad thing. As long as the water can flow through them, that's the main thing. So what I'll do now is whip you off the tripod and round this way, and all I'm going to do is very gently just stir this up a little. It will flow from this one into the next one and then we'll deal with that one, but it will slowly push the dirt through the filter. So very careful, do be very careful with this Sycorax, for the simple reason that you can break it. So you've got to be reasonably gentle, and I want to get right down the bottom to get all the dirt stirred up. Make sure we've got it right up to the end. All this will flow through into the next chamber. Just make sure we get most of it. Doesn't matter if there's a little bit left, we'll get that next time. But stirring it up right down to the bottom. and it will start to flow clean. Giving it a good moving about. Okay, now we'll move on to the second chamber. As you can see, I hope, this camera's not too good at picking it up, but there is quite a lot more dirt in here, and we should see it as I stir it. You will see it coming up. Definitely needed a bit of a clean, but I don't want it too clean because it's the bacteria we're looking for. Letting it all filter through into the next chamber. If we look in that one, you can see it going through in there, so we're definitely doing some good. It's definitely moving it through. So we're really getting rid of some dirt here. I hope you can see. I hope you can see that in the next chamber. You can really see it flowing through there. So yeah, we're really doing some good. Looking nice and clean. Make sure all the media is underwater. Now this one should be the one where it's all settled. As you can see there, we've got quite a bit in here. Now be careful in this third chamber. I have to be careful. I don't want any media going over the end, or it'll end up in the stocking, and then I shall have to get it out. But gently giving it a good stir. The good thing about this is it soon clears it. It's gone as soon as it comes up. The flow takes it away. That's the good thing about it. You can see my bits of bio-home media in there. Now I just want to pull this away from that weir a bit. Now this end is where most of the dirt will have settled. As you can see, it's really coming up now. This is where most of the dirt should be before it tends to sink before it goes over that weir. That is really dirty down there. So we should do it some good, I hope. Keeping it all this way, keeping it away from going over that weir, that's the main thing. I don't want to be picking it out of the stocking if I can help it, but there is a lot of dirt down there. And it's still coming up. Now it's starting to clear a little bit, so we've done some good. And this is the last one of the three. Last one of the three chambers. And it's looking reasonably clear. So I think we'll call that it for this one. Don't want to overdo it. Right down the bottom. And there's no dirt coming up, so I think we've got it. I think we've about got it. We'll just straighten all the media out so it's all underwater. I'm sorry if I'm not holding the camera 100%. It's a bit difficult to do this in one hand and hold the camera with the other. Shove this bio-home media well down, get it in among it. Just leaving the Cyprax on top so the water can flow through it. And that's it. We'll call that it, guys. Nice and clean. Looks good. And with the flow that goes through it, it takes it away straight away, and it takes it into here, into the tights. As you can see, they're filled up, so I'll get them out there next. Okay guys, I'm going to whip the tights out there now and get it off the piece of pipe, make sure there's no media stuck to the tights, and then I can throw them away. I don't think if I did ask the wife she would wash them for me. I'm not sure. And there we go, that's the tights with all the dirt in it. I can take this off now and get that put back onto here. So the flow is now going back in as per normal. So I'll just take these and get rid of these. Right guys, if we have a look at these tights, you'll see what sort of, if we look into here, you'll see all the dirt that they've taken out of that water. It's pretty manky. So they do a really good job at that. It's pretty manky old stuff, and that's all the way through the tights. So there was a fair old bit of dirt in there. Now we can throw them away, and that's it until the end of the season for the Bakki River. Right, well there we go. And as you can see, the Bakki River is all nice and clean again. That should do us now for the summer. I might give it another little clean out before the winter. But that's it, that should do us for now. Well, good morning guys. What a horrible change in the weather. The wind's in the east, it's dull, it keeps raining, and it's cold. That wind is really cold. If you're out there for 10 minutes, it really makes you cold. What a change from what we had. But I think they're saying within the next couple of days it's going to come a bit warmer. I hope so, because I don't like this much at all. As you can see, I've not even taken my pond net off this morning yet. I'm expecting it to rain again any minute by the looks of it. But we're going to nip down the shed and I'll show you what I've been doing down there. Okay, well what I've got down here is what they actually are, is aquarium dividers. You can fit these into your aquariums just to divide the aquarium up. I've bought some of these and I've made this little jig up. What I do is strain this into there, bend it into there, so that it makes a sort of a roundish shape, not 100%, but there you go. And then I get my heat gun and heat it up very carefully and very evenly, so it doesn't crease. If you get it too hot in one spot, because it's under pressure there, it will kink. So very evenly and very carefully, and then fasten them together so that what we get is this. They're all slightly curved. Not 100%, but they're all slightly curved. You can't do them too much, else they will kink. And what I'm hoping to do is do a layer of about 3 of these and bring it to the top of the pond and sit it on top of the lily basket. I shall fasten it to the lily basket with cable ties. As you can see, I've fastened these together with cable ties. And I'm going to sit it on the lily basket and take it virtually to the top of the pond to try to keep the koi out from getting at that little lily that I've bought. I can't get it to grow because they're just eating the leaves as fast as they're showing through. So it's a bit of protection for that really. I'd just like to see if I can get it growing. That's what I'm doing at the minute. I shall do it about 3 layers. I shall do about 3 of these, which once it's on top of the lily basket should very nearly bring it to the top of the pond, which will keep the koi out. Now we know nothing's growing much in my pond at the minute, but the lilies are trying to grow. So I'm going to give it a hand and see if I can keep the koi off it and stop them from eating it. So that's my idea, and I'll show you guys what happens when I get it all done and fitted. And there we go guys, that's my lily protector. Let's hope it works. The idea's there. Let's just hope it works in practice. If you do decide to do something like this, do make sure that all your tails to your cable ties are inside, so there's no sharp bits outside. Make sure all these the tails are cut off on the inside of the cylinder, not on the outside, so the fish can't hurt themselves on them. Basically, if they flick on this, they can't hurt themselves. And I've used the flat side outside, the squares are actually inside, so it's quite flat this outside. But there it goes. So now all I've got to do is try to get it on the lily basket. That could be something else. Now what I'd like to do very quick is just give a good friend of mine a mention. He has a aquarium shop and he's been doing it a few years now, but he wants to move into the pond equipment. His name's Robbie Stafford and he's a very nice chap. You'll get on very well with him. So if you're looking for any pond equipment, and he's doing everything, pumps, fittings, food, treatments, just contact him, and if he can supply it he will, and he'll do you the best price possible. That's all I'm asking. I will put his details down below for you. So he's from, I think it's Colne Market in Lancashire. It's Bubble Aquatics, Lancashire. Give him a try and I don't think you'll be disappointed. And there we go, that's it, done and fitted. I've just got to get it back in the pond now. Okay, that's it in the pond. I'm not quite sure whether you guys will see it. There's a lot of glare on the pond. Just let me move around a bit and see if we can see it. There it is. So we'll see how that comes now. At least the koi can't get at it. There must have been about 8 stalks coming out of that where they just chewed the leaves off it. But we'll see how that gets on now. See if it works. Well guys, with the new lily protector in position, we'll have to wait and see how it works, see if we've done any good. But it's come to that time again. I'd just like to say thanks for watching, do take care, and as always, happy ponding.